This new build in County Wicklow has been created with an emphasis on sleek design and renewable energy efficiencies, including solar panels and a high-tech ventilation system. A light-gauge steel frame home, it was constructed in 2 phases. The main 3-bedroom house was completed before the owners moved in and saved, to future-proof the house with a new studio and outdoor living room. Homeowner David Magnier showed me its top 3 features.
How's the energy efficiency in the house?
For us, energy efficiency was the top of the list, you know. So we put a 2.4 kilowatt solar system on the roof of the studio, which faces south, so it gets good sun. We have that running into a battery, so we store quite a lot of power. And just recently, we've started feeding power back to the grid and getting paid per kilowatt hour for that extra electricity. So it's great because the running cost of the house, without using kettles and stuff like that, is pretty much covered by the solar. And on a sunny day, we're storing stuff to use in the evenings. And on a sunny day where we're not using a lot of stuff, it goes back to the grid and that ships off on our electricity bills.
And the garden is almost like an L shape as well. And
yeah.
I've noticed over here it's kind of wild looking. Talk to me about the layout there.
Yeah, well, I was really keen to have something that had a bit of an ecosystem to it. So I'm a beekeeper, I've got bees in the back corner. And it's a big enough garden that you don't need it all for lawn. So for us, what we did was we had like a wild area. So let the grass grow wild, some raised beds, plant some vegetables to mixed success, if I'm honest. And there's a wildlife pond, you know, for hedgehogs coming and going and that kind of stuff. So one of the things I wanted to show you was one of the brains of the passive house system, which is mechanical ventilation heat recovery. So the way that works is the system pulls warm stale air from inside your house and cold unfiltered air from outside your house, and it passes them beside each other in a huge array of straws. So what happens then is, without mixing the air, it transfers the heat from the warm stale air to the cold fresh air and ends up pumping into your house warm filtered air without having to heat the air.
Okay.
So that just makes the whole system really efficient. It's basically just one big fan with a filter. Now, it's one of those things that you might think you don't need in your house, and that's fair enough, but I think the best way to show you why I think it's important to have is because you're filtering your air, right? And without filtering your air, this is some of the stuff that's going to be in your air. I mean, we change these every 6 months, but you know, systems like this, when you can see what it's taking out of your air, I think it's hard not to justify these kind of things.
Yeah.
You know?